Hey everyone, it's Dr. Rick, founder of Herbal 411. It's now November in Illinois. The thing that you get in nature is calm. And sometimes if you are going through a lot of strife, a lot of anxiousness, a lot of stress, and you want to de-escalate the way your brain thinks, you walk away from the event. Something that you can experience at night. How do you turn off that mind saying, okay, I gotta wake up in 4 hours, I'm wide awake, it's pitch black, I can't get to sleep, now I'm gonna be tired tomorrow morning, I better try to go to sleep, and you can't get to sleep. The idea would be something that Andrew Huberman came up with. That's the easiest way to explain. If you're not a hiker, you don't go out in the woods, and you don't go to the beach, or you don't go hike. Why we as hikers love nature is because it slows down the stress response. And if you're not in nature, then you probably don't understand what that means, but I'll explain it the way Andrew Huberman, my favorite podcaster, explains it. He comes up with something called space-time bridging. Now, by the way, if you don't subscribe to my channel, if this is helpful to you, consider subscribing or sharing this with other people who are totally stressed out or who want to have a better definition of what to do with nature therapy. When my patients are out here with me or my hikers are out here with me, then usually the conversation will be kept to a minimum, but we'll just hear our steps, we'll hear our breath, we'll just look at the horizon. And there's a technique that I just explained in a previous video where you can practice modifying or controlling your autonomic system. That's a part of the central nervous system that sends you into fight or flight. You can practice good control of that instead of being a prisoner to it. And the autonomic system is composed of the stress response, which is fight, flight, freeze, and then the parasympathetic response, which is love, rest, and digest. Now, if you're always practicing stress response and you don't know how to really love or rest and digest properly, and it doesn't mean just sitting on the couch and digesting, it actually means a form of mindfulness or meditation or prayer or calm. TCM, Transcendental Meditation, is an old form of it, but if you don't practice that stuff, because you have to be taught that, and you only have the stress response part, you're totally off balance. So one of the best ways to, without hiring a big guru and going to a yoga teacher training class like I did, you can actually deploy this in your local plot of nature, and it's called space-time bridging. The way you do it is you have to have first a breath exercise, and my favorite breath exercise is what I learned with Andy Weil. Andy Weil came up with something called the 4-7-8 breath exercise, and it's an easy way to figure out how to dive into controlling your breath and learning to unplug, de-escalate. And it's called 4-7-8, and I'll do 3 rounds of it. You essentially have to inhale over a count of 4, hold over a count of 7, and exhale slowly over a count of 8. And that's it, 4-7-8. Inhale, gentle hold, exhale, and that's it. So I'll do 3 rounds of it. And it's inhale over a count of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold over a count of 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale slowly over a count of 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I usually try to squeeze my abdominals at 8 and then back to inhale. So let's deploy it. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Squeeze, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Squeeze. Inhale. Hold. Exhale slowly. Squeeze. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Now I'll do it without using my hands or counting. Inhale. That's 4-7-8 breath. If you just practice that a couple times, that might be enough for you to calm or fall asleep or stop thinking about those or ruminating those ideas in your mind. Now, if you do that here in this kind of scene, the way space-time bridging works is you just do what we just did, but in your mind's eye, possibly closing your eyes gently, you just concentrate on your breath, and I'll do one round. If you do that with your eyes closed for 3 breaths, 3, 4, 7, 8 cycles, and then after you concentrate on your breath, you then open your eyes and focus on an object like my aura ring, which I have in my hand. And you do the 4-7-8 breath, concentrating visually on that. So you do that, concentrating with 4 cycles of 4-7-8, or 3 cycles of 4-7-8, and you've adapted the breath to this kind of visual distance, this space. The first time was just getting related to your breath, lung, understanding control and feeling. The next is from when you combine breath and you have a visual space. The next would be you pick a distance, say this tree over here. You breathe, hold, and exhale, focusing on the tree. You've adapted sensations inside, is sensations on the outside, your visual cues from that tree. Now you look at the horizon, which is the tree line way over there, and you do the same 4-7-8 breath for 3 cycles. So I've gone from where I'm just learning to feel the breath and control my breath based on the cadence of what my lungs can normally hold, to identifying the breath and a visual space an arm's length away, and then breath and a distance farther away, to finally a breath to a distance and the horizon. And then the final portion of the space-time bridging, according to Andrew Huberman, is when you now contemplate you being a small speck on the earth and you visualizing the earth. And you do 3 rounds of 4-7-8 breath to that. This you might have to close your eyes if you want to turn off the perception of your environment, or you can keep your eyes kind of defocused somewhere. It's called a drishti point, and you just keep your eyes focused in one direction, but imagine in your mind's eye the earth, you on the planet somewhere, and you in the country on the planet doing the 4-7-8 breath, and do 3 rounds. I closed my eyes with the third cycle just because I started to drift away from my point and think, okay, who's going to be coming to the trail now and interrupting me? Which is an intrusive thought. When you're out in the woods and you just practice looking down, sympathetic, looking at the horizon, parasympathetic, looking down at your footing and looking for a root, sympathetic, looking at the horizon, enjoying where you are, parasympathetic. You're practicing going between two different systems in the autonomic system. That's very good practice because we're always thinking, scrolling and looking at the next doom scroll. And that's not good because you're a prisoner to all the crap that you see on social media, which is not good for you. Versus reading a novel or engaging fun times with a family, being in nature with a pet, or just being on a bench with a pet. But not all of us have that luxury and know what to do. Most of us will just be on a computer and identify with the world that way, and it's too fast. And that's the basic premise for space-time bridging. When you're constantly focused on speed, and that's what internet is, speed, and social media speed, and getting things done speed. When you're constantly doing that, then your blood pressure and heart rate and your reflexes are that speed. When in actuality, when you take it to this distance, when you take it to the distance of the tree, when you take it to the distance of the horizon, and when you think planet Earth, you've slowed down because you're expanding your perception of where you are. A little speck on planet Earth. And it suddenly, think of it, I mean, Earth has been here for billions of years. You think year to year versus decade to decade versus century to century. It slows things down and it allows you to de-escalate. So hopefully this gives you a couple of ideas about how to control your stress response and balance it. This is just one option as far as getting to nature. You might not have a woods, but you'll always have nature, even if it's a patch of grass in your backyard or your pet and you on your favorite bench. You can always see the sunrise, you can always see the sunset. Even if there's buildings in the way, you always see that difference. And sometimes when you defocus, it slows down things and it helps you with inflammation. There's something called the Japanese forest bathing effect. It's when you go into the woods or you go into nature and you slow down the inflammatory response. And that's been proven decreases inflammatory markers in the blood after about 20 minutes of just being in the woods. So you don't have to be in the woods, you can be on the beach, you can be on a mountain, you can be in your backyard. But sometimes you have to practice that, just like exercise. You have to practice going between sympathetic and parasympathetic and developing your autonomic system. I think that'll get you, hopefully, the most assured way to get to the longevity that you want to reach. I'm planning on 100, and I want to see my great-grandson and great-granddaughter survive and teach them. And teach other people and just be witness to this. So hopefully this helped. It wasn't too long and drawn out, but if you think it was too long and drawn out, you need to practice this more. Please put any comments down below. Otherwise, maintain healthy lifestyle. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.